In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. Such is the central proposition of Warhammer 40,000, indicating the Anno Dominus equivalent year in which it actually takes place. Basic deal is these 9 massive, vicious, highly weaponized factions are all going at it across thousands of planets on any given day. There is no carnage like the scale and abandon of Warhammer 40,000 carnage. One of the reasons I like it. It's kind of like the speed metal of science fiction IP universes. Today we're going to talk about a deck I built featuring this faction, the Astra Militarum, formerly known as the Imperial Guard. It's one of 2 human factions. They include the Space Marines. The Astra Militarum, aka the Emperor's Sledgehammer, is a force of billions of humans marched into battle in horrific theaters across the galaxy. In a game of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest, it was your job to lock down a little corner of this universe called the Traxxas sector, which consists of 10 planets. To start a game, you'd reveal 5 of the planets, put a couple in the hole, and then burn 3. Nobody knows what those are, so that adds a little bit of mystery to how things are going to go. And every planet, as you can see by those colored boxes on there, has objectives. First player to capture 3 planets with matching objectives or kill the opponent's warlord has won the game. That much is simple. Now, but I want to talk about, in particular, how designers Eric Lang, Nate French, and Brad Andres transferred, this theme and this setting into beautiful thematic gameplay. So we're going to talk about a deck I built. This is part 1 of the feature of Commissar Broderick Worr. Now, if you are unlucky enough to be a fighter for the Astra Militarum, you're going to be up against some foes and in some situations you don't want to be in. To encourage people not to surrender and to dig in and fight no matter what, and to be an incarnation of the will of the Imperium, the Astra Militarum has Commissars. And what they did with the game is that when you're building a deck, once you select a warlord, that warlord's going to come with a set of signature cards that must come along with that warlord, and which your opponent, unless they're playing the same warlord, is not going to have in their deck. What does Broderick Worr do? He was part of a series of frontline commanders they released that had a theme where they have advantages at certain planets. So he has the fun stipulation that any army units, that would include your opponent, that retreat while he's there, they're just killed. There's no surrender, no retreat. And it says also every other Astra Militarum unit you control at a planet with a green objective, that is, coveted military strong point, gets a little attack bonuses. And it says they can't retreat, nor can they be routed, pushed off the battlefield. So Broderick Worr, he's sitting there with his baton of command and his pistol, saying, "Come on, you bastards! It's time to go die." Who are some of these bastards? Let's look at the command squad and the way these designers translated that theme of desperate, authoritarian empire and its many, many, many recruits or conscripts. He has 4 signature army units called Anxious Infantry Platoon. As you can see there by the little number in the upper left, you can deploy these for a mere 2 resources, and they have a command icon, 3 attack, 3 defense, which is a really good deal for 2 resources. But here's the rub. They have a forced reaction. After a combat round at this planet ends, you may pay a resource. If you do not, you retreat this unit. So what they do is they let you put the units out cheaply. But if they're at a planet with war, you basically have to pay to keep them fighting because they're jumpy. And if you don't have money to keep them in place, or Worr there to enforce their bravery, they'll bounce on you. Brilliant touch. Signature events. Summary execution, true to form. This basically lets Worr make an example of some poor bastard in order to turn the planet he's at into a military strong point, thereby accelerating your win and multiplying his effectiveness at planets with the green symbol. He'll have a signature attachment. Of course, it's the commissarial bolt pistol. Many a cowardly guardsman has felt that press against the back of their head, and occasionally I've heard that they will shoot an enemy with it too. And then a signature support. These will go into your HQ area, and they let you generate guardsmen, which are these little token units. They're means to an end. So yeah, that's Broderick Worr and how they said, how should a commissar play in this world? And this was their answer. We're going to do a part 2 momentarily, where I come back and talk about the rest of my build, why I did it, and was it worth it? See you soon.